Well, everybody, I hope you had a restful weekend. I hope that the beginning of your week has been a great one. I wanted to take a few moments to talk to you about being a conqueror. And real quick, my wife and I had made an agreement a long time ago. We have a lot of athletes in our family, all of our kids are athletes. We made an agreement a long time ago that we would always celebrate them, whether they won the game, whether they lost the game, whether they did well or didn't do well, whether they played or not. In the game, we made an agreement to celebrate them, and the goal behind that was that we wanted to make sure that that we kept their confidence up, no matter what, and that that we demonstrated to them that we loved them, and so that they always know that they were supported. You know what I mean? So that the wins or the losses, the performance, good or bad, wouldn't impact them as a person or impact them about in a negative way in terms of how they felt about themselves, right? So I can remember this one particular time where after a game we did what we always do. We take our child out to celebrate, and we really go as a family, but one of the whoever performed would be celebrated. That's kind of what we did. We normally let them pick something out of the store, and so we stopped to the store, and we told our child, listen, go pick something out. And I could tell that they were bothered still. And then and then they said, well, they didn't deserve it. And that really bothered my wife and I, because we had always taught them that they were important. We always taught them to be confident. We always demonstrated love to them. And so we embraced them, we encouraged them, and we got them to understand again that they were important. We got them to understand who they were, and that the performance didn't dictate who they were or whether they should be confident or not. Okay. And I tell you that story to say this, that we do that. That's what we do. We let our performances determine whether or not we're conquerors, whether or not we can be confident, whether or not we're important. To be honest, whether or not we're loved, we let our performance dictate those things to us. And then we live with that emotionally. And it prevents us from living empowered. It prevents us from, having faith in God and stuff like that. So Psalms 100 says this. It says that it's God that made us, and we didn't make ourselves, essentially. And what that says to me is that I have this conqueror in me, and it's in my DNA. It's not based on my performance. My performance can't dictate to me where my DNA comes from. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that my DNA comes from God, and God made me great, God made me a conqueror. And so my performances can't diminish that. And so you can find it in Romans also, where it talks about us being more than conquerors. And what it means to be a conqueror is, it means to take over. That's what it means. It means to take over. Um, and 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 so I live with this DNA, and whether I do well, in a game, whether I don't do well in a game, whether I perform well at work a particular time or don't, none of those things dictate to me who I am. Like, I am a conqueror. That's in my DNA. That comes from God. It doesn't come from me. So that's kind of what we share with our child, is that you're a winner because it's your DNA, not because you perform well or didn't perform well, not because you played in the game or didn't play in the game, not because you won or lost. You are a winner because it's in your DNA. All right. And that's what I want you to take away from this, that being a conqueror, being a person who takes over, being a person who's in control of their lives, being a person of faith, is not about your performances. Like, your performances don't dictate whether or not you're a conqueror or whether or not you're a person of faith. Okay. Do we do good sometimes? Do we do bad sometimes? Yes, but that doesn't dictate who you are, right? Your DNA, your makeup. God determines your makeup, okay? So if you embrace that reality, that you're a conqueror inside regardless of your performances, whether they're good or bad, all right? You embrace that reality. The more you embrace that reality, the more you live out that reality. You live out being a conqueror. You live out taking over. You don't just allow life to happen to you when you realize, no, I'm more than a conqueror, no matter what's happening. Something may go wrong, but it doesn't determine who I am inside. Like, we don't walk around and If we had a bad day at work, we don't like go in there and change our name and ask people to start calling us a different name, right? You live by the same name. Like you answer to the same name. We don't go around changing our name based on how we perform. So why would we try to change our DNA or change our makeup or look at ourselves differently because we don't perform well over here at a particular time, or we don't win something over here? Okay? So listen, embrace the reality that you're more than a conqueror. I'm telling you, it's going to make a huge difference. All right, share this video with somebody. Talk to you guys next time.